Good evening, all of you. Uh, so in today's class, we are seeing how to develop a normal registration form using Tkinter concept in Python. Okay, so already you guys are aware of the GUI module in Python. I'm using the same module to develop one registration form. Okay, so I'll show the layout to you first, how like the form will be looking like. See, this will be my like root window. Okay, here I'll be writing some fields like username, password, email. Okay, so I'll be taking this as the fields from the user. Okay, I want user to enter username, password, and email. So this will be basically a registration form. Okay, so I'll be creating entry boxes to read the data from the user. Along with that, I'll be creating one register button also. I'll be creating a register button. Okay, now, so what we're gonna do is basically see, uh, right. So on the right hand side, we have a database. I'll just write here DB. Okay, DB stands for database. Okay, and database always consists of tables, right? So this will be our table. This will be a table. Now, so here what we're gonna do is we're gonna enter the details from the registration form. Okay, now whatever details I'm gonna enter should be going and storing in the database table. Let me show an example. See, suppose I'm giving a username as John. Okay, password as 123 and email as john@gmail.com. Okay, so once I click on the register button, okay, once I select the register button, all this data will be collected and should be transferred into the database table. Okay, let's say that we have one column here with the name username. I'm just writing u name. It will be easy to understand. This will take some lot space. Okay, wait a minute. I'll write here u, p, and e. U stands for username, P stands for password, E for email. So whatever username I've given in the registration form should be collected and stored in the username column. Whatever password I've given should be collected and stored in the password column. Same for the email also. Okay, so I'm interacting basically with the Tkinter and database both together. Okay, so in this class, I'm going to show you how to create the registration form. Okay, how to create the database, how to create the table, and how to link this two together. Okay, so let's start the concept. See, so on my PyCharm screen first, I'm going to import the Tkinter module. Okay, that is very important component of GUI. So I'm be writing here from Tkinter import star. From Tkinter import star. Okay, now in the next line, I'll be writing root equals to capital T and small k and ending with parenthesis. So this is called as a function. It is a built-in function of Tkinter, which is allowing you to create a window, okay, a separate window for your application. And we are just giving the window name as root. Okay, we're giving the window name as root. Now, if you want to access the window, okay, then you should be writing your variable name. What is a variable name? Root dot main loop. Root dot main loop. So we'll be using this concept to access that particular window on our screen. So if you right click and run, you can see a window popping out on your screen, right? So this is nothing but your window coming with the help of this tk function. Okay, now if you observe here, the size of the window is little bit small. Okay, I want to increase the size according to my registration form. So how can I do that? So first I'll close it and I'll write here root, because root is the variable denoting my window. Root dot geometry. Root dot geometry. Okay, so root dot geometry. This geometry is a built-in attribute of Tkinter, which provides you, okay, to give the fixed height and width to that window. Okay, now inside this, in the string format, I'll be writing 400 into 400 or 400 x 400. Okay, so this stands for width and this stands for height. So if you right click and run it, we'll be getting a new window with 400 width and 400 height. Okay, now I want to change the title of the window. Okay, if you observe here, what's the title given there? TK. Okay, but I want to change it and make it as registration form. Okay, we are creating the window for what purpose? Registration purpose, right? So I should be writing the registration form. How to do it? See. So I'll be writing root dot title. Root dot title. So with the help of this title attribute, I'm changing the title of the root window. So what should be the title in the string format? I'll be writing registration form. Registration form. Okay, so if you right click and run it, see, the previous title was TK, but now it will change and become registration form. Okay, now I need to change the background color of this page. Okay, the by default background color is a milky gray color there. I want to change it. Okay, so how to do it? I'll be writing root dot config. Root dot config. So config is a method to make a small change in the window. Okay, so what you want to change? I want to change the background. I will be representing the background with the keyword called BG. I'll be representing the background with a keyword called BG equals to, you can give any color. Okay, suppose I'm giving here, let's take cadet blue. Okay, let's take the color as cadet blue. So if you right click and run it, you'll be seeing sea green color coming on the registration form. Okay, the background color is light blue color. Okay, so in this way you can create the layout. Now I should be inserting some text in this registration form. Okay, like username. Okay, I should be writing a username. Okay, then password, then email, something like that. I should be inserting some text. Okay, so how can I do that? See, if you want to insert a text into the window, if you want to insert a text into the window, first of all, you require a variable. So I'll be writing username underscore label equals to. So my variable is what? Username underscore label. If you want to insert a text into the window, we'll be using an attribute called label attribute. We'll be using an attribute called label attribute. Make sure that here L should be capital. L should be capital. The first letter L should be capital. Open the parenthesis, and where you want to send this label, like what should be the destination? Our root window should be the destination. Okay, so we're writing root here, comma. What you want to insert in that root window? Text. So I'll be writing text equals to, okay, user name colon. Okay, now if you right click and run, I'm expecting that username to be coming as a text on my window, but that is not possible right now. See, can we see any username text on our window? Right, there is no username text on the window, correct? Why? Because if you want to display something on the window, okay, and if you're specifically using label format, that label is stored in which variable? This variable. So you should be closing that variable. Now what I mean by closing? See, username underscore label dot place. Okay, you'll be using one attribute called place attribute. Place attribute depends on two axes, x-axis and y-axis. Okay, x-axis, let's take here 20, and y-axis, let's take here 50. So x equals to 20 means what? X-axis runs horizontally, giving you 20 spacing, and y runs vertically, giving you 50 spacing. So if you right click and run it, see, you'll be getting username on x-axis 20 and y-axis 50. But if you observe there, the problem is the background of my text is not matching with the background of the window. Both are not matching. Even the text size is small. Okay, now how can we change that? See, so first of all, let's see how can we change the background. So in that label only, in that label, okay, I've stopped at text attribute. So I'll keep a comma there and I'll write BG equals to. Again, BG means background color. What should be the background color? Same as window color only. So I'll write cadet blue again. Now after the double quotes comma, I'll be writing font equals to. Font equals to. In tuple format, first I'll be giving my font should be bold type, comma, and size should be 20. So we are using font attribute to denote the size of the font with bold type. Clear? Okay, so if you run the program now, right click and run it. See, you can see the change in the text. The background is matching, even the font size is quite increased. Okay, now same label I want to create for password and email also. Okay, how to do it? See, I'll be writing password underscore label equals to, take a variable first. You can take any variable. I'm taking password underscore label because that makes sense with my program. Using which attribute I'm dealing with? Label attribute, because that is helpful to add some text into the window. Okay, what is the window name? Root. What is the window name? Root, comma, text equals to, what should be the text that you want to enter? Password. Okay, now same format, bg equals to cadet blue, because I want the same color to be matching with my text color or the text background color. Font equals to, okay, first type is what? Bold, and size is what? 20. Okay, like you have placed your username underscore label on a particular x-axis and y-axis, in the same way you should be placing your password label also. So we'll be writing password underscore label dot place, where x is 20 only. The x-axis is same like previous, but y will change. Sir, what if we write y-axis same as previous one? It will overlap. The text password will overlap with the username text. Okay, that is not the right thing. So always change the y-axis. Let's take here 100. Let's take 100. So if you right click and run, 1 minute. Okay, so I was saying like x-axis should be 20 and y should be 100. So if you run the program now, see. Okay, so username and password are coming one after each. Now if you want to increase the y-axis quite more of the password, you can do it. Right now I've taken 100. Let's take here 150. Let's take 150. So if you increase it, sorry, if you run the program, the y-axis will be quite increased. Okay, so now we have username, we have password. The last one is what? Email. So I'll be writing here email underscore label equals to, which attribute again? Label attribute. Which attribute? Label. Where are you sending it? To the root window. Sir, what should be the text? Email. So I'll be writing email. Let's make it E capital, email. Sir, what should be the background color? BG equals to cadet blue, the same background color. Okay, and the font should be of bolder type. Okay, and the size should be 20. Okay, now I'll be writing email underscore label dot place, where x equals to 20 and y equals to, let's take here 250. Okay, so right click and run it. See, we're getting username, email, and password. Okay, so in this way we are able to enter the text into the window. Okay, now let's create the entry box. Entry box in the sense text box. Let's create the text box where we can enter the data. So how to create the text box? See, for that again we require different set of variables. Okay, so I'll be writing here username underscore entry equals to, username underscore entry equals to entry attribute. Entry attribute, here E should be capital, like in label attribute L is capital, here E should be capital, and there should be nothing placed inside this entry. It should be empty there. Okay, now you'll be writing username underscore entry, that is the variable, dot place, where x equals to, double it, you want opposite to username, right? You have a text username, you want opposite to that a text box. So what is the x-axis of username? 20. Okay, if you double it, it is 40, but 40 will not be enough. We'll take here 100. We'll take x-axis as 100, and y will be same as username text. What is that? 50. In the username underscore variable, you have taken the y-axis 50, right? Just take the same y-axis here also, 50. So if you right click and run, So still if you're giving the x-axis 100 also, it is not coming in a proper way. So here what you can do, you can increase the x-axis quite more. You can increase the x-axis quite more. So we can take x-axis as 150. Take x-axis as 150, right click and run it. Okay, still it is not that much proper. Okay, even 150 is not giving accurate result. So take here 180. 180. Right click and run it. So getting it now. Okay, we're getting username and an entry box where you can enter our data. In the same way, we need to create entry box of password and email also. Okay, how to do it? See, same way. Take here one more variable, password underscore entry equals to which attribute? Entry attribute. Which attribute? Entry. Okay, where E is capital again. And we'll be writing here password underscore entry dot place. Okay, dot place where x equals to 180, the same x-axis, and y equals to how much? The previous y-axis is 150, right? The same here also. Y equals to 150. Right click and run it. I'm getting a second entry box. Go for the last one. Okay, so again we'll take one variable, email underscore entry equals to entry attribute. Okay, now we'll be writing here email underscore entry dot place where x equals to 180 and y equals to 250. Okay, because the previous y-axis is 250. The text email is stored at 250 y-axis. I'm just taking same thing for entry box also. Run the program. We can see 3 entry boxes now. One for username, one for password, one for email. Okay, so now we have the text, we have the entry box. You're pending with what? A register button. We need one register button. Okay, so we'll quickly create one register button also. So right here, register underscore button. Register underscore button equals to which attribute? Button attribute. Equals to button attribute. Here B should be capital. B should be capital. Okay, in the parenthesis, you'll be writing what? Root. It means what? You're sending the button on the root window. Comma, text equals to register. Means inside the button, I want the text to be as register. Okay, now we'll be writing register underscore button dot place. Register underscore button dot place. Where x equals to, let's take 150 and y equals to 300. Okay, so if you right click and run it, we can see a button. Yes, we can see a button coming on the registration form for x-axis 150 and y-axis 300. And the button name is register. And if you select, if you click on right now, it is acting as a dummy button. If you click on it, it is acting as a dummy button. Okay, now what you should do is, okay, now, so suppose I'm giving my username here, John. I'm giving password as 1234, email as john@gmail.com. But okay, gmail.com. But if I click on the register button, okay, am I getting any message box? Am I getting somewhere registered successfully? You can check the console also. There is no message displaying registered successfully. Then what is the problem? Actually, the problem is this is acting as a dummy button, a sample button. If you want to add some functionality to it, okay, you should be creating a Python function. But before creating the Python function, like I said I'll be connecting my registration form with the database, my SQL database, so that whatever data I'm entering here should be inserted into the database table only at one click, right? So right now the front end part is ready. Let's create the database part. So I'll be opening my MySQL software. Okay, we'll keep that registration form aside now. We'll create the database. I'll be opening my MySQL software. It is asking for a password. I'll enter my password. Okay, and I'll create the database. So now already you're aware of the command that is used to create the database. The command is what? Create database and database name. Suppose I'm writing register underscore DB semicolon. What is the database name? Register underscore DB. You can take any name. I'm taking register underscore DB. Press enter. And with that name, a database will be created. With the name, a database will be created. Just give me a minute. Now, so already I created the database with the name register underscore DB. Okay, now I'll be writing use space register underscore DB semicolon. So what's the meaning of use? The use command says that from the random databases that you created till now, okay, from that random databases, I want to use this particular database. Okay, so if you press enter, you can see one message is getting displayed, database changed. Okay, now I want to create one table. My database name is register underscore database. Database consists of what? Tables. So how to create the table? With the help of this command, create table. Create table. And what should be the table name? Let's say the table name is register, or table name is registration. Table name is registration. In the parenthesis, I'll be giving the column names the table should be containing. So what should be the first column name? Username. Remember one thing, column name should be same as your like what we'll say registration form. If your registration form is having fields like username, password, and email, then the same column name should be given here also. Okay, so I'll be writing username space. What is the type? It accepts varchar. It accepts string type of data. So we represent varchar as string in MySQL. In the parenthesis, I should be writing the length. Suppose I'm writing here 100. So 100 characters combine a string. Okay, comma. Next field is what? Password. Space, it also reads string kind of data. So I'll be writing varchar. In the parenthesis, I'll be writing suppose 10. Okay, comma. I'll be writing here email space varchar. Okay, in this I'll be writing again 100 characters. At the end, semicolon. Okay, at the end, semicolon. So if you observe here, the command is saying what? Create table registration, where username is column, password is another column, email is another column, and both three of them are accepting string type of data. Okay, now if you press enter, you can see a message will come. Query okay, 0 is affected. Means a table with the name registration is being created. Okay, so we created one database with the name register underscore DB, and we created one table with the name registration table. Now what we should do is link this database with PyCharm, with our Python registration form. How to do it? See, on the top, we'll come back to a PyCharm screen. On the top, after this root.config, we'll take one function, a Python function. Let's take the Python function as register underscore data. I'm taking a random name. You can also take a random name. I'll be writing def register underscore data. My function name is register underscore data. Now, see, if you observe here, MySQL is a separate software and Python is a separate software, right? To connect both of them, we require what? MySQL.connector. Okay, so already I think you have installed that. Okay, so how to import that? We should be writing here import MySQL.connector. Import MySQL.connector. Next, I'll be writing MyDB. I'll take a variable MyDB, and I'll be writing MySQL.connector.connect. MySQL.connector.connect means with the help of this method, I'm going to connect my PyCharm with MySQL. Okay, using some attributes. So host equals to localhost. Host equals to localhost, comma. That is the first attribute. Port equals to 3306. That is a by default port number of your database. Okay, comma. User equals to root. Who is the user? Root. Root in the sense your system is the user. Comma. Password. What should be the password, sir? Your database password. At the time of accessing the MySQL, you are entering a password, right? So that same password should be entered here also. So in string format, my database password is root. So I'm entering root there. Okay, and the last field there is database, comma, database equals to. Okay, database, I'll just write it in the next line. Database equals to. Now, what is a database, sir? Register underscore DB. We created one database with the name register underscore DB. We'll write the same name here also. Inside the database section, in string format, we'll write register underscore DB. Okay, so this is the configuration part. Okay, now in the next line, I'll be writing my cursor equals to mydb.cursor. My cursor equals to mydb.cursor. So what's the meaning of this, sir? The meaning of this is this cursor method is used to check whether all this configuration passed are correct or not, whether the port number is correct or not, or password is correct or not, or your database is correct or not. And the second benefit of this cursor method is it is used to perform all the SQL commands in Python. SQL commands in the sense insert command, delete command, update command in Python. Okay, and we're storing that cursor in which variable? My cursor variable. Okay, now coming down to our entry boxes. So if you observe here, whatever username, password, and email I'm entering, whatever username, password, email I'm entering is storing in a specific entry box, storing in specific entry box, right? Okay, whatever username I'm entering, it is storing in this username underscore entry variable. Whatever password I'm entering, it is storing in this variable. Whatever email I'm entering, it is storing in this variable. So now what should I do? I should be calling each of the entry box on the top, where in this function only, first I'll take a variable username equals to, okay, in which entry box it is storing all the username. This is the variable name. We'll call it on the top. Username equals to username underscore entry dot get. Username equals to username underscore entry dot get. So what's the meaning of this? The meaning of this is from this entry box, you're getting the data. You're getting the data and storing in which variable? Username variable. Now we'll write here password equals to password underscore entry dot get. So calling out the password entry box with the help of get method, storing it where? In password variable. And last one is email equals to email underscore entry dot get. So with the help of this get method, you're storing, calling the entry. So you're calling the email from the entry box and storing into the email variable. Okay. Now what we should do? Now we have called the username, password, and email from the registration form. We have pulled out username, password, and email from the registration form. We should insert where? Into the MySQL table in the database. Okay, we created one table with the name registration. I should store all the details there itself. How to do it? See, I'll be writing my cursor dot execute. My cursor dot execute. Okay, like I said you, this my cursor is responsible to handle all the SQL activities. Okay, so I'm doing that here right now. My cursor dot execute. Execute which command? Insert command. Insert command of MySQL. Insert into table name. Okay, what is a table name in MySQL? What is our table name? Registration. What is our table name? Registration. We'll write that same table name. Insert into registration. Insert into registration. What do you want to insert? Values. What do you want to insert? Values. Now I don't know the values. Okay, values might be anything what user may pass. So I'll be highlighting that with percentile S. Okay, percentile S, comma percentile S, comma percentile S. You have 3 columns, right? So 3 percentile S. Now after the double quotes, I'll keep a comma. Okay, now I should be passing the value of each and every percentile S. So the value of first percentile S is username, which is holding the username data. Second is what? Password. And last one is what? Email. Make sure that in whatever order you arrange here, that matters a lot. So what is the value of first percentile as username? What is the value of second percentile as password? And what is the value of last percentile as email? Okay, now at the end, what I should do is I should write here mydb.commit. I should write mydb.commit. Okay, now after doing this on the top, okay, after this from tkinter import star, I'll be writing here import tkinter dot message box. Import tkinter dot message box as msg. So because of this msg, I can display the message box on the screen. So after this mydb.commit, I'll write msg.showinfo. msg.showinfo. This takes 2 parameters. First one is what? Title of the message box. We'll be getting a message box. Okay, the title should be the first parameter. I'm writing here registration. Okay, what should be the content inside the message box? Registered successfully. Getting it? Okay, so by this 90% work is done. Okay, the last 10% is what? See, what is the function name? Register underscore data. What is the function name? Register underscore data. Okay, I should be giving that into the button attribute. We have a button, right? Okay, we have a button. Inside the button, at the end, I should be passing command equals to. What should be the command? your function name should be the command. On the top, you have taken the function now where all this database part is stored. Okay, that function name should be called here inside this command. So what is the function name? Register underscore data is the function name. Register underscore data is a function name. At the end, you'll get the pair of parentheses by default. Always remove that. Okay. Now by this, the whole program is ready. The whole program is ready. Let's check it whether it's working or not. Right click and run it. I'll be opening my MySQL window also. I'll open this here. So let's say that I'm entering a username as John, password as 1234, and email as john@gmail.com. john@gmail.com. Okay, now if I click on the register button, what should happen? It should display a message box, registered successfully. And whatever data I gave here, okay, whatever username, password, and email I've given here should be coming and storing in registration table of database. Check it, click on register button. It is displaying what? Registered successfully. This is called as message box. Click on OK. Now the same data should be inserted into this registration table. Check it. What is the command? Select star from registration. Select star from registration and semicolon. So I missed spelling. Okay, spelling mistake. Right. Okay, select star from table name. What is table name? Registration. See, username is John, password is 1234, email is john@gmail.com. The same data which I've given here. Okay, how that is getting inserted? Because of this SQL command, insert into registration values. Percentiles. What is the first percentiles value? John. What is second percentiles value? 1234. What is last percentiles value? john@gmail.com. Okay, now suppose I'm entering one more person's data. Let's say my own data there. Rishi. Okay, password Rishi123. Email, let's say rishi@yahoo.com. Let's click on register. We're getting a message, registered successfully. Let's check whether the data is storing in SQL or not. We'll write the same command. Select star from registration, semicolon. So you can see previously John data was there. Now you can see Rishi's data is also being added. So like this, you are working with GUI as well as MySQL. Okay, this is a full-fledged application how to like connect MySQL with the registration form. Okay, so I think you enjoyed the class. Okay, so we'll stop today, and in the next console we'll be seeing about the login form. Okay, thank you everyone.